Hello everyone, I welcome you all for this session. I'm sure you all are fit and fine and doing well with the online learning. Now, for today's session, that is session 2 of chapter 5, natural disasters. So, in this particular session, I'll be dealing with you basically about the other set of natural disasters like tsunami, floods, famine, and disaster management. So I'm sure you all are handy with the information, and so you're going to have a lot of fun in this session as well. So be very hooked towards your session and make sure that you very closely observe every information and take notes of it. Okay, so you'll enjoy this session. So let's get started with the session. Tsunami. Now, students, I hope all of you are aware of tsunami. So we'll just discuss a little bit on tsunami here. Tsunami is actually very dangerous and it can kill lot many people in tsunami. So first we'll understand what is tsunami. A tsunami is a series of waves caused by earthquakes or undersea volcanic eruptions. Now, whenever there is an earthquake or a volcanic eruption under the sea, then naturally it leads to tsunami. The length of tsunami is approximately 700 to 1600 kilometer. The waves travel with great speed and force. Now the length is unimaginable. It is extremely high. So even if you try to escape by running or take another alternative, it's not going to work out because the waves are very high and it works out in great speed. Strong and whirling winds also create big and strong waves. So because of the waves get even more stronger and the length of the waves increases. So it can cover large area in destruction. Now the waves which are seen in tsunami causes great deal of destruction. That's why they are called as destructive waves, because it can reach to great heights as well as to many kilometers. So very easily it can destruct many buildings together as well as many lives together. So it is one of the most dangerous disaster. The next topic is floods. I'm sure everyone has gone through this situation, especially in the extreme flooding. The water enters even in the houses. If the houses are lying over the lower part areas, then water gets into the houses. So I think this situation is really very hectic to handle, especially the floods. They are the most frequent type of natural disaster and occurs when an overflow of water submerges land that is usually dry. Floods are often caused by heavy rainfall. Apart from rainfall, rapid snow melts, tsunami in coastal areas, or sometimes even if a dam on river breaks. All these reasons are responsible for floods, but major reason is definitely heavy rainfalls. So during floods, I think rather than getting panic, it's more better to be calm and take necessary actions whichever is required in order to be very alert and in order to save the lives. Famine. Famine is a widespread condition in which many people in a country or region are unable to access adequate food supplies. Now, it is actually a widespread condition. Usually, when it occurs, many people in the country or region are unable to proper food. So the situation is very drastic. Famine results in malnutrition, starvation, disease, and high death rates. So usually you see a lot of malnutrition because lack of food supply that leads to all these problems of malnutrition, starvation, and a lot of diseases come across, and eventually people die. The condition of famine also occurs in case of scanty rainfall or no rainfall for 2 to 3 years. The possibility of famine is less if we plant more trees. So we have seen that usually when there's a problem of cutting of trees and lack of rainfall, so lack of food supply, so that eventually leads to famine, and that's how people die out of starvation. So this is one of the pathetic situation. Many a times it also happens due to war, when a lot of money is used in military expenditure, then in that case also people have to starve. due to a lack of money. So all these reasons are somewhere responsible for famine. Prevention of famine. Since famine is majorly caused due to natural reasons, it is difficult to prevent it. However, there are certain ways of controlling the effects of famine. Now, famine is basically caused because of natural reasons and it is difficult to control the natural disasters. So, the best way we can do is to control the effects of famine. Now, the first way to deal with such a situation is to go for surplus agricultural production. So, if there's more agricultural production than if there is famine, lack of food supply, then agricultural production can be distributed. Excess food can be distributed to people who are in need, and this can help in stopping the problem of starvation and death. So, this can be handled in this way. Apart from that, if you see, there are various other reasons that needs to be taken care of, like transportation also needs to be perfect, well developed, and communication also need to be well developed, because during distribution or channelizing the resources, transportation is very important. There should also be proper healthcare, clean drinking water, and sanitation facilities to prevent any diseases. Especially during such a situation, diseases very easily get spread out because of dirty water and lack of food supply. So when the health gets completely deteriorated, so in order to stop all these issues, proper healthcare needs to be given to people. Drinking water also needs to be supplied. So this somewhere will help in protecting people from diseases. Disaster management. Disaster management in India refers to the conservation of lives and property during natural or man-made disasters. So, disaster management team is used especially when there is a disaster. So, in order to protect people from the situation, they are being used to rescue them out. So, disaster management plans are multi-layered and are planned to address issues such as floods, earthquake, fire, etc. So, if there is any building which is on fire, or if there is a natural disaster like floods, so in any such disastrous situation, disaster management team is for the rescue and make sure that every person is safe and are given proper and necessary facilities. So the job of disaster management is to protect people during such disasters. So coming towards the end of the session, I am sure you all enjoyed the session. Now the task for home is to write down 5 simple tips which can help us stay safe during a natural disaster. So you can write down any 5 simple tips which can help you stay safe during a natural disaster. So you can also make it a little more creative and write down neatly in a book. In the next session, I'll be discussing with you basically about cyclone, forest fire, landslides. So again, it's going to be very interesting. So you can also find out some information on it and be ready for our next session.